This lecture gonna be mastering storytelling, creating powerful narratives for posts and videos. So stories, people love stories. You can do anything with stories, catch attention, build trust, build interest, tell a story, tell a copy. You can do testimonials, you can do case studies as stories, you can do videos for stories, you can do posts for stories, you can do the pictures as stories, you can do the GIFs as stories, you can do a lot of things with storytellings, and let's see now how it looks like in the content. Story architecture, the classic narrative frameworks. So there are different frameworks and different narratives what you can use in your storytelling. For example, the hero's journey. The hero is the main person of the story, usually you or your customer, and this story is gonna be his journey or her journey. Universal myth structure identified by Joseph Campbell. The stages include an ordinary word introduction, a call to adventure, an encountering mentors' challenges, crossing threshold into unknown, a series of tests and trials, a major confrontation, climax, transformation, return with newfound wisdom, and the pattern across cultures represents psychological growth process and provide inherent dramatic tension. This is the hero journey, and let's see what others are. The 3-act structure is another storytelling structure you can use. Act 1 is the setup, the character introduction, establishing the core conflict, what's going on, what's the setback, what's the challenge, inciting incident, what happened where you find out that something has to change immediately. Act 2, confrontation, rising complications, escalating obstacles, character development, and deepening the central conflict. And Act 3, the resolution, the climatic confrontation, conflict resolution, the character transformation, how it looked like at the beginning and how it looked like at the end of the story, narrative closure, provides clear narrative progression, creates predictable yet engaging rhythm, and allow audience emotional investment. And there is the character transformation model. When you focus on internal character evolution, key transformation elements can be initial psychological state, triggering disruption event, and internal resistance, gradual self-awareness, critical moment of insights, active choice for change, integration of new understanding, empathizes, psychological journey, highlights personal growth mechanics, create deeper narrative meaning, and reveals characters' internal complexity. So here is the character transformation model where you show where your character was at the beginning with the challenges and setbacks and pain, and how it looked like after they find your solution, after they find your booking call or your program or your group or anywhere you want them to do as your character does it, and how it transforms to something greater. The story architecture, what you can use in your storytelling, the emotional landscape design, is identifying core emotional experiences. How did they feel when they had the challenge and the setback? What was their pain? What are they afraid of? Creating emotional depth and complexity. So emotional depth, what did they feel? How did their status look like? Balancing vulnerability and strength, and techniques for emotional authenticity. About the narrative mechanics, crafting compelling narratives, a hook development strategies. A hook should be something which catches the interest immediately. It should be at the beginning of your copy or in the first 3 seconds of your video. Creating narrative tension. When you create a tension in your narrative, pacing and emotional rhythm, and surprising yet inevitable story progression. And the perspective and voice can be first person, intimate storytelling when you are talking about yourself and your view. It can be a third person, universal insights when you are talking about your customer, how the journey looked like. Maintaining narrative consistency, so maintain this, how you talk in your narrative. And authentic voice development, develop an authentic voice, a unique voice, what's yours and how your members like to communicate with. Proposal outline, the psychological connection strategies, audience engagement technique, cognitive curiosity triggers, so you trigger their curiosity with something what makes them curious. Pattern interruption methods, you have to interrupt your pattern with some methods. Emotional landmark creation, create different emotions and really dig deep in the emotions what your prospect feel before and after your solution. And universal experience mapping, map out their experience, their journey and their steps. Vulnerability and trust, strategic personal revelation, so reveal the person strategically. Boundaries of authentic sharing, building psychological safety, and transformative storytelling approaches. Technical storytelling execution, and we're going to talk about the multimedia storytelling when you use different media in your posts, videos, polls, pictures, graphics, links, attachments, and everything else. The visual metaphor integration is a symbolic representation of abstract concepts. The techniques can be matching visual elements to emotional stages, using universal symbol libraries, creating layered visual meanings, and translating complex ideas through imagery, neurological engagement strategies, and enhancing cognitive progressing and deepening narrative comprehension. The sensory narrative enhancement can be multisensory storytelling approach, activation of multiple perception channels. Implementation strategies can be descriptive language, triggering sensations, sound designed emotional cues, textural narrative descriptions, implicit sensory references, creating immersive storytelling experiences, increasing audience emotional connections, and expanding narrative memorably. The cross-platform narrative consistency is maintaining core narrative integrity. Platform-specific adaptation techniques is modular content design, core message preservation, format-specific optimization, audience expectation management, and it can be seamless brand storytelling, the audience engagement across channels, and flexible narrative architecture. So you can use it in your Facebook group, in your Instagram channel, or across different platforms. The ethical storytelling considerations, inclusive storytelling principles. The diverse perspective integration is deliberate representation strategies, authentic voice amplification, multidimensional character development, intersectional narrative approach, breaking dominant narrative monopolies, nuance culturing representation, and avoiding tokenistic inclusion. Avoiding harmful stereotypes, critical narrative analysis, challenging reductive characterization, contextual cultural understanding, the complexity over simplification, and humanizing marginalized experiences, deconstructing inherited narrative tropes, empathetic character development. Creating empowering narratives, the agency-focused storytelling, strengths-based narrative frameworks, the resilience over trauma empathies, transformative character arcs, breaking victimhood narratives, highlighting systemic context, and individual and collective empowerment. The universal human experience highlighting. You can use emotional core connection strategies, transcending surface level differences, shared vulnerability exploration, fundamental human needs mapping, emotional landscape communities, cross-cultural psychological insights, and fundamental interconnectedness emphasis. The practical implementation for storytelling, you can do a personal brand storytelling when you develop a consistent narrative voice first, then the core message distillation, you authentic personal mythology creation, and the long-term narrative strategy. You can use continuous learning and refinement of your stories. You can ask your members, feedback loop integration, storytelling skill development if you develop your skills in storytelling to be better and better, experimental narrative techniques, and professional growth through storytelling, so self-experiment, self-awareness, and professional and personal growth. Ongoing skill development path is the storytelling mastery roadmap, is to continuously learn and continuously learn and be better in your storytelling. You have to practice daily the narrative, structure your skill acquisition, deliberate storytelling exercises, and performance reflection cycles. Skill development strategies, intentional skill progression, micro learning techniques when you create one habit in a short time period, narrative deconstruction, audience feedback integration, and performance metric tracking, so you track the performance metrics. Core development domains, technical storytelling skills, so you are good in storytelling in technical skills, writing technique refinement, you can refine your writing technique and your sentences and your word and your emotions, narrative structure mastery, master narrative structuring, platform specific adaptation if you use different platforms, and multimedia storytelling with different pictures, images, GIFs, pause, videos, and everything what you can use. Psychological competencies, emotional intelligence development, when you develop emotional intelligence in your personal life, empathy expansion, when you expand your empathy and you're practicing empathy, communication nuance, and psychological insight deepening. Practical skill enhancement, recommended practice methods is daily storytelling journal, when you do your stories daily in a journal, narrative analysis of media, public speaking workshop, you can attend 2 workshops about public speaking, you're going to be a better speaker, peer storytelling groups, you can join to different groups, online storytelling courses, there are different courses on storytelling, and content creation experiments. When you do a lot of content, you're going to be better with time. Measurement and tracking, the skill progression assessment, audience engagement metrics, how your audience resonated with your content, emotional resonance tracking, narrative complexity evaluation, and personal growth indicators. The key takeaways of this lesson is the stories as fundamental human communications, storytelling as a learnable, improvable skill. So the more you are doing storytelling and the more you post and video and create a story, you are better and better. Potential for personal and professional growth, about self-awareness, about creating different stories and journaling. Narrative as a tool for connection and understanding. If you want a deeper understanding, you can use it as a tool. So this was the Mastering Storytelling. I hope you can use a lot of stories and create very good stories you can use in your posts or in your videos. We were focusing on this, and see you in the other lectures.